So it's no secret that the EV market, the electrical vehicle market, has been one of the best performing markets in 2020. Companies like Tesla, NIO, Lordstown Motors, and so on are expected to take over from Ford, Toyota, and all these old companies that really are caveman-like. Let's just call them that. But myself, I'm not really that convinced, and that's why I'm not buying NIO. Bit of a spoiler alert there. But NIO has had some good news recently, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to do a full analysis by giving NIO an STI. Okay, so before we get into it, please make sure you have smashed that like button, subscribed, and turned on the bell. And if you want to join our chat room or help support the channel, please do check out the Patreon link in the description. If you're from anywhere other than the States or Canada, check out eTORO, free lifetime membership to the chat room on the pinned comment below. So NIO has gone absolutely nuts in the past week. Got upgrades from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, even up to $40. And that made the stock make new highs, currently around $30, $32. But that begs the question, why is it up? Because a price upgrade is not usually enough to make a company make new all-time highs. Well, let's look into it a little bit more. NIO recently made their promise of making 5,000 cars in 1 month and delivering them, which is phenomenal if you think about it. This Chinese company who doesn't have their own factory and is outsourcing absolutely every aspect of this car still delivered 5,000 cars, and in fact they aim to have 12,500 vehicles delivered early in 2020. That's 12,500 vehicles per month. Think about the order volume they're getting. It's crazy. Now, it's no secret that China has got a booming economy. In fact, there's a lot more growth to come in China than I do think in the US, for example. I think China's a major player in the game in these trade tensions. We don't know what's happening in the US election. There's a lot of turmoil happening in the States. And throw in the virus or the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, China's already open and sort of moving a lot faster than everyone else. So I think that that market short term will do better as well, which is a big, tick in the box for NIO. But the big thing, NIO, the Chinese Tesla, the Tesla killer, whatever you want to call it, I'm not a fan of Tesla. It's no secret. Long term, I think Tesla will do well, but I do think EV companies, especially Tesla, are way overvalued for what they are. And Tesla is a car company, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You can disagree with me in the comments. I don't really give a shit. But NIO has got some great things that I think Tesla could take advantage of, and that's the battery swap. And the biggest problem with EVs is the charging time. You've got a certain amount of range, but then you have to take a certain amount of hours, like literal hours of your day, to charge your car back up to full. NIO have this idea where you drive to a gas station or a battery station or an NIO station, and they just swap your battery out in a couple of minutes. You go pay, and you're good to go. And I think that is a much more logical step than waiting a couple of hours in a service station, twiddling your thumbs, buying a million coffees and waiting for your Tesla to charge up. Now, Tesla's been booming as well because of the Tesla Uber, the Tesla Robotaxi. NIO have teamed up with Intel and they're going to do this Robotaxi. No one knows when it's happening or how it's happening, but that is another thing that this stock is really pumped up on. Imagine just being able to lease out your car and it automatically drives and picks up passengers. Your car is then an investment that can make you money. It's quite clever. Now, I just want to stress that I do think the EV market is sort of ahead of itself. I don't think that there is a logical pricing on the bigger companies like NIO and Tesla. I think they're way overvalued, my personal opinion, but I do think they are the future. I'm fully with you on that. I just don't see, Tesla being like 3 times the price of Toyota. I just can't fathom it. I'm sorry, I just can't. And that sort of worries me a little bit because one big player like Tesla can fall and that could affect NIO. It hasn't been recently, but that could as well. So just something to worth of note. Let's look into Simply Wall Street, find out a little bit more about NIO. Well, if we look at NIO on the chart, it looks really overextended. It looks like a bit of a penny stock that's gone apeshit. Currently riding around $30, $32 over the weekend, near all-time highs, and it is, in my opinion, just looking at the chart, definitely not a place I want to be buying. I'm a value investor. I like to buy lows and buy lower and lower and lower, not at the top and sit red for months and months on end, and then just comment on videos saying, well, it's gonna go up sometime, I'm gonna make money eventually. That's not the way to invest. That is literally just saying, eventually Real Madrid will win the Spanish league. If you know what that means, then you'll understand. Eventually, it will happen. Their current market cap is 43 billion going on their current stock price. So yeah, quite a large company on that aspect. Simply Wall Street says they are 14% overvalued, and they also do not have any profits, so they have no PE or PEG, which is quite worrying, to be honest. Going on to their assets and liabilities, short term, they have a 2.2 billion in assets and a 1.9 billion in liabilities. And going on to the long term, you have a 1.1 billion US dollars and a 1.4 in liabilities. So short-term covered, long-term looks a bit worrying. The worrying thing about this is their debt to equity is 2,200%. That is crazy. So this company will need to raise cash in the future. It's a first red flag for me, to be honest. Obviously, you have no dividend, and at this price, in fact, in the last 12 months, you have no insiders in the company buying shares, which is a big red flag. If this company seriously was the future, why are the CEO, the CFO, etc. not buying any shares? That's a second red flag to me. Now, Flash SEC, actually what it does is it goes and scours all the filings and puts all the data into one little simple format for you. And I found out that working capital for this company is actually minus 600 million US dollars. So they're burning cash fast, very fast. So they're gonna need to raise capital. That led me to look into their 424Bs and their warrants, their share offerings, and actually they have outstanding. Their outstanding warrants is 1.5 billion US dollars and another 50 million and another 50 million US dollars. So they can actually throw them out at any time, to my knowledge, and raise capital when they need to. So it's ready. So if that comes out and they, sell 1 million shares at the market, it's going to tank the stock. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do that anytime soon, but it's something to be wary of. Whenever I see a company that has warrants and 424Bs outstanding and it's sort of not common knowledge, it worries me. It really does worry me. So given that NIO has warrants, has no insider buying, and it has a massive debt to equity, I can't buy it. And I can't buy it here. If it came down to $10, something like Ride, Lordstown Motors is a good example. We've seen that sort of tank a little bit recently, and that has orders as well. If I was looking into getting EVs, that would probably be more where I'm looking at. I think that is much better value, but it is still speculation than NIO. NIO for sure is more established. I get the argument, but in layman's terms, you've missed that trade if you're not on board already. If you bought above 28, 30, I think you overpaid in my opinion. If you bought above 20, I think you overpaid short term. So hey, that's my simple opinion. I'm not going to change it. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is NIO a good buy? What's your 12-month price target for NIO? Bearing in mind that some analysts reckon it's going to go to 40, which I can see happening as well. So to be clear, this is a coin toss for me. I do expect this to continue squeezing, even though it's overvalued, because, well, the hype is real, as they say. So drop in the comments below what you think about NIO. Do you think it's going to go higher? Do you think it's going to go lower? Where do you think it will be price-wise December 2021? Please make sure you've hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell, and check out the Patreon link in the description. And I'll see you with another STI in the future. Take care. Peace.